Alrighty. Back. Here we go. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome.
This is Romance on the Rocks, a drinking book club. I am Christina.
I'm Laurel.
I'm Claire. Allegedly.
Took us all a minute.
It took me a second.
To remember our names. It's okay. We've had a few drinks.
I know my name.
We've had a few drinks. It's okay. And we've done some other stuff. And today is a happy hour discussion.
Woo woo.
And what are we talking about again?
We're talking about our
turn-ons and
turn-offs.
Turn-ons and turn-offs. What you would look for in like your hall pass or in general, and
In a book, in a movie.
your celebrity crush, your fantasy man, whatever. And then obviously when you talk about your turn-ons, you're going to talk about your turn-offs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like totally. And I think in my case, what's hilarious is my partner doesn't have a lot of the major like ooh la la situation, like the general things that I go for.
That's okay.
But it works.
That's all right.
But
But
we're
it
happy
works.
and
Yeah.
it's great. But like what I normally look for is not him. But that's okay. You get surprised.
Hey.
Surprises are nice.
Shit surprises you, right?
Yes.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
what you like in your everyday doesn't necessarily, or what you like in your fantasies doesn't necessarily translate to what you like in your everyday.
So let's go with Claire because I've been talking a lot.
That's a
Oh,
whole
God.
conversation.
What are your turn-ons? And let's discuss. And turn-offs.
Okay.
What are my turn-ons?
I can tell you what your turn-off is. I remember
Okay.
your boyfriend going around getting drunk, kissing on everybody.
Okay, that was
Boy,
just
girl,
really
and
fucking
colorful.
weird. That was just really fucking weird. I was in a weird place when I was seeing
There's nothing
him.
wrong with that. He was great until he got drunk and started kissing everybody.
And in all fairness, like he felt bad about it after the fact. And like there was some remorse there, but I was in a really weird place and it was kind of one of those like, this is a really weird red flag, but also like he hadn't, but I also went from, full disclosure friends, a partner who was a teetotaler who did not drink at all,
Oh, really?
to
Yeah,
someone who
I
did
didn't know that.
drink. And as someone who has a history of alcoholism in my family, like what is normal for me is very skewed.
Mm-hmm.
So like it was one of those, I took him to, we had only been dating for a couple months at that point.
It was a holiday party.
It was a holiday party and it was kind of one of those like meet your friends kinds of things. And he drank, I think like 3 or 4 beers in the course of like 30 or 45 minutes or something like that, which was a little unusual for him to start with.
And then kissed everybody.
But also, like, was making out with, like, literally everyone.
And it wasn't just, like, it wasn't kissing, it was
Literally
making
everyone.
out.
Oh, okay. See,
Like, he was trying to do full-on, like, make-out sessions with everybody.
too handsy is one thing, but that's a little over the
He
line.
was also too handsy, but that came
like,
later.
the drunky kissy, like, I get, like, if you're gonna kiss everybody and you're drunk, okay, but not, like, full-on, like, grab the face, try to make
But
out.
like, but he said that he had to go say goodbye to one of our friends who was like this giant Russian guy, and like I turn around and he's like
Trying to make out.
straight up trying to make out with a giant Russian guy who
Oh,
had
gosh.
a fiance at the time.
Oh, well.
No, they were married. They were married at that point.
Mhm.
They were
They were
married, at that
married,
point.
and he tried to do that with me, and I was able to redirect.
Yeah, no. And it was like one of those like red flags that was like, okay, like that's kind of a red flag, but like I'm gonna let that one slide because it was out of character for him, I thought, at the time.
Yeah.
And then like the farther it gone on, it was like he wouldn't try to make out with his other friends, but he did get like weirdly handsy with other people.
I
in
remember running into him at a restaurant while I was out with colleagues, and he was ducking and like trying to hide.
Yeah,
from
because
me.
he was actually kind of mortified. Like when we got home, like he got violently sick because he was like, "Oh my god, I drank like 4 beers in 30 minutes."
It was right after the whole he tried to make out with the entire group of people at the party.
Everyone in the workout group.
I think that's
right?
on my turn-off list.
It-
Just
like-
me. I mean, being like lovey, huggy, even like a kiss on the cheek with my friends, that's awesome. But like, I don't want you making out with everybody.
Well, so with Douglas and I make friends really easily. I'm the extrovert, right? And I say I love you to some of our friends a lot.
Well, yeah.
Like our bartender friends, one of them, like like a few of them, like we text back, love you, miss you, and love you. You know,
Yes.
And, like
Oh,
we're
no,
very
but I text my
affectionate.
friends that all the time.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like perfectly
And-
platonic.
which is great, but
right?
it's not
Yes.
like they're trying to make out with me.
No.
there's a difference. There is a very large gap between "love you, bitch" and like trying to have sex with you at a party,
Yes.
right? Like there is a very large gap between those two things, and it wasn't. it wasn't like a turn off at the time, but it was one of those weird like
It was a flag that was
red
like
flag.
yeah.
That was like a pink flag,
It
right?
was one of those like
It was very out of character for him, I thought, at the time, because they'd only been dating for a couple months, and it was like the first time that I'd introduced him to my friends. And he was kind of the extrovert, and I think that he just got like nervous or something, so I just chalked it up to like, oh, he was nervous and got a little over lubricated on the beer, and it wasn't necessarily a pattern with him, but him like drinking too much and getting handsy with people kind of was.
Yeah.
And there were other reasons that we broke up. Like, it just kind of wasn't working out. And there was a weird amount of, like, he wasn't ready to settle down. And I was a year older than he was. And I was in a weird place in my life, too. And I was just kind of, like, got out of a really bad marriage and kind of was in a place where I kind of felt like in order for me to like feel like I was safe, I had to be in a relationship, and so there was just
yeah, it's like
really
you've been in a relationship so long and you were so young enough that it was like, okay, I don't know how to be alone, kind of. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, and when you've been in a relationship with one person for as long as I had been with my ex-husband, like your version of what is normal is very skewed. Right?
Fair.
So like I didn't realize that it was a turn off until I knew what my sort of turn-offs were at that point, but that was kind of one of those weird, I hadn't encountered that
it, and then all of a sudden you're like,
before kind of things, right? Yeah, you know.
We all have our major turn-offs and turn-ons, like, immediate things. Like, I know what my massive thing is, and it's really dangerous and bad for me. I love a bad boy. Like, I love a bad boy.
But when you say bad boy...
What kind of bad boy,
What kind of bad boy?
All of the bad boys.
Oh, okay.
And that has fucked me over enough times that I know better.
Like murdery bad boys or like biker bad boys?
Biker
Give me
drugs,
the dark,
like...
morally whatever
Right.
person, and that is the...
You like the fucked up ones.
It's a huge turn on.
You like the
me.
ones with a lot of emotional damage.
See,
Yeah.
I don't like
because
that.
they fuck like nobody's business, and I know it's not great, and I know better. And I, like, it's a huge, like, I love me a bad boy. Like, oh my god.
But there can even be a pain just to have as a fuck buddy. I mean,
Yes!
let alone a relationship.
Yes, which is why I don't go for them anymore, but that is, like, the ultimate, like, above all else, I love, like, holy fuck, I love the dark, morally gray characters. I love the bad boy.
I like them in theory. I don't
I've
like them in
dealt
reality.
with it in reality, so I know better.
Yes.
And I will not go for that. But I love me a bad boy.
You love it in theory.
See,
I've done it, I love it, and it is...
How could I describe them? The politician, maybe?
Like, that does not turn me on.
I like cocky. I like like someone with a magnetic personality that everyone loves, like life of the party, smart, like charismatic, likes to go out, likes to drink and have fun and dance and like social butterfly. That's what I
See,
like.
I love me a bad boy, but I figured out the way to do it without it fucking me over is I like the dominant. The dom. It's not the bad boy, the dom.
Oh.
You like the one, you like your partner to take charge.
Confident in his skin.
Yes.
Yes, I like
Yes.
confidence.
Yes.
Knows his mind.
But
like,
I think that that's kind of like something that generally people gravitate towards, right?
willing to take charge. Yeah, I love the bad boy. Give me Jax from Sins of Anarchy any day. Like, holy fuck, that's like the hottest shit for me. I mean, tattooed, bad, foul mouth, just wretched bad boy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
but I know better.
Yes.
So I prefer the dom.
So Laurel, you kind of like gravitate towards like the more extrovert.
Yeah.
Right? The ones that
yes.
are like easy to have a conversation with.
Oh,
and, like,
yeah.
you
Easy to
can
fuck.
lead.
Easy but good to have
but, like-
banter with. Like, just people are drawn to them, which unfortunately in the past means that lots of other women are drawn to my man, and that can be really bad. Sometimes it's okay, but most of the time that's bad.
It's great when the guy is super committed.
When they're super committed and loyal, it's okay.
and it's
Yeah.
fucking hot when
Yes.
they get hit on. They're like, oh hell no.
No, I got my girl, but
Yeah.
it can go pretty badly too if they're not if they're kind of weak.
Oh yeah, no.
Well, but
no.
if like they put on a big game,
Yes.
right? Like some of them can talk a big game, but when it really boils down
That
to it,
that's
they're
a
like.
big turnoff too.
But some guys
They need
can,
to have something to back it up.
You gotta be able to back up your big game.
But some people are like hiding their
Insecurities.
insecurities
Yeah, that's...
under extroversion.
See, I've been duped by that in the past, but you have to have something underpinning it. They have to have smarts. They have to have something going for them. They have to have a career or like at least a big dick, right?
Well,
Yeah,
you
play the big
think.
dick energy, right?
Big dick energy is what I go for.
Yeah, we all. Look,
They don't have to
Right.
have it. They
their
need to
big
have
dick
that
energy is sexy as hell.
It's so
Yeah.
hot.
If it's coupled with not a huge ego,
Yeah,
alpha
like-
male personality.
No,
like,
I don't need that.
But just confident big dick energy.
Yes,
That's
yes.
self assured. That's sexy as fuck.
It's not because like it's like the opposite of me per se. Like I'm outgoing, but it's just that's just what I like, I guess.
I'm a crazy bitch, so
Yeah,
someone
but
needs to be able to handle me.
But I get it, right? Like, I'm an introvert, so I kind of need a partner that balances that out in the sense of, like, they're the life of the party, and they sort of, like, bring me out of my shell a little bit.
I got it.
You know what I mean?
But I feel like I can do that. I've done that for friends.
Oh, I am guaranteed. Of the three of us, I'm the crazy extrovert.
Okay, but Stina
Oh, yeah,
is,
yeah.
like, the
Apart.
introvert, and I'm a little bit of an ambivert,
I
right?
can
but, like,
be-
I lean more towards the introvert
I can be
side.
I am to a degree an ambivert, but I am the life of the party, the
Yes.
extrovert, the wild child, the
Yes.
adrenaline junkie, and
Yes.
Douglas, my partner, is none of those things.
No. But that's where the opposites attract comes
He's
in.
the type of person
Yes.
that when I suggest going sharks diving or any of that,
He's
says,
like, yeah, no.
no, you're gonna die.
No, have fun.
And I'm like, no, let's do it.
Okay.
Life's not fun if you're not living, right?
Yeah.
So, but him aside, like, love him, we're great. It's the bad boys, the tattoos, the confidence, the muscles. Oh my god, the muscles.
Yeah, but there's a little bit of just kind of like...
Give me the big muscly
yeah,
arms.
but there's a little bit of been there, done that with that
I don't
too.
know,
That
I
I
don't
think
know.
that you like. Stina.
They have to be able to pick you up and not drop you on your head during sex. But for me, like, they could be sinewy muscly, or
Yes.
they could be muscly. They don't have to be tall, because I'm super short.
So
They could be whatever.
the biggest physical turn on for me are the biceps. It's always been the biceps.
Yeah, but like my turn on is like a guy who takes care of himself.
Yes,
Who
grooming
takes
is
like
good.
pride in
Okay.
their health and not necessarily their appearance. Like I don't
But
want
health
like
and grooming.
I don't
just-
want like a metrosexual guy. I want a guy.
I've done
who's,
that.
like,
He was a cheater.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, sometimes
is
they
okay.
turn out to be gay, which is not
So
wrong at all.
manly, but takes care of themselves to
Like
enough.
health and mental health, and like they're
I want a guy that like keeps their space tidy and takes care of themselves, right? Like I do not want to be mom and housemaid.
no.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. My thing, what's hilarious is I'm the one that's covered in tattoos. Douglas has no tattoos.
Mr. Laurel has no tattoos, but I don't either, I guess.
I was telling the girls earlier, I've been obsessed with a show called 911. It's on Hulu. And the guy that I am obsessed with in the show is Evan Buckley. So he's Buck. He's the guy who is played by Oliver Stark. And I showed the girls the picture of him and why I figured out, like I was trying to figure out for a while watching the show why I was obsessed with the show and why I was so interested in him. And it's the goddamn biceps.
Yeah.
Because he plays the firefighter and he's got the thighs and he's got the biceps.
And his biceps are fucking massive.
Freakishly big.
And he's got the tattoos and he's got the British accent and he loves dogs.
Okay, so British accents do it for me.
Oh, but
Oh
yeah,
my
but I
god!
like
Like in the
period
show,
stuff, though,
he's
yeah.
American, right? Like of course,
Oh.
but like when he has
British
his
accent.
interviews, and then part of it too is his character that he plays is bisexual,
Yeah.
and the boyfriend in the show for the later seasons is Lou Ferragamo. I think that's how you say his name, Junior, and this guy is another like big, burly, masculine male
Yeah.
with a cleft chin, and also just as sexy.
I mean, I like muscular, but I can't say that I have a specific part I'm crazy.
It's
Like,
the
I have to
biceps.
have, see, not for me, I don't
It's
know.
the biceps.
But for me, it's like
It
the
doesn't
whole
even have to
package.
be
It's the whole
big.
package,
If the
yeah.
biceps are defined and you can see, like...
I mean, I like a good washboard abs with the V thing, but that's not really my particular
but
thing.
see, all women like the washboard
Everyone
abs
likes
with the arrows.
The
Okay,
arrows.
Yeah,
the
but like Sam from Supernatural, like has pretty like Jared Padalecki is a pretty fit guy,
he never did it for
and
me.
like he
I like
doesn't
the
do
whole
it for
package.
me.
He
but,
never did it
But
for
Jensen
me.
Ackles does
Because he's got big dick
he's
energy.
fucking hot.
And he's got the big dick energy. He's the best.
Yes.
And he's a little bit of the bad boy.
See,
Yes.
I like big dick energy with a really good smile because they kind of go together. So that's more my physical thing than like.
all of
Okay,
them-
but Henry Cavill does too, and I would say
Oh.
that
No,
bitch can turn the big dick energy on and
Oh.
off.
Well, and he's got golden retriever vibes. Like Oliver Stark has like the way his face is, like the way he is. The smile is like a little bit like
But
golden
Henry
retriever
Cavill
vibes.
doesn't come off as like dumb as a goldfish.
No,
He's
it's
not golden
like
retriever
it's
to
the
me.
friendly, approachable, sweet
Yes.
vibes. But you know he
Yes.
can flip that switch.
Everyone
to
has
go,
seen that
"Ugh."
video of him, and he's like, "Well, do you work out?" And he's like, "I run." And they're like, "Well, what do you really do?"
And he like
You know what I
you
do.
know what I do.
Have
And
you
you
seen
got
these
that.
biceps?
we would all do it with
He
you.
wore through like 3 Geralt of Rivia costumes.
Well,
because
no.
his
It was the
biceps are
interview
so
with
fucking
Jimmy.
huge.
Was it Jimmy Kimmel or Fallon? It was one of the Jimmys where they talk about like
That's what I'm saying.
he says he does cardio and
Yeah,
everyone's
they're
like,
They're
oh,
like,
running.
bitch, yeah,
No,
no.
and he the way he's like,
He's
no,
like,
he
they
means
know what I
fucking.
do.
He
They
means
know what
he
I
fucks.
do.
Yes.
Yes.
A lot.
A lot.
But like again,
And we can't blame him.
he's got the biceps. Like it's
I don't
not
know
the
the biceps.
big biceps. It doesn't matter if it's the defined because there are like lean cut guys that are actors
And I like
Yes.
that have the defined
But here's the
biceps
other
thing is,
that just
I like
does it for me. It's
manly.
always been the
he
arms.
is hot and manly. I do not like a baby boy.
It's the
No.
arms. Like
No baby.
So
no
if you, Bridgerton,
little-
when
Oh.
Colin in season 3 shows up with a define your
Yeah,
arms,
yeah.
it's the arms. It's the it
No,
doesn't.
he doesn't define like chin and arms.
He
and
came
all
back
this
with a
stuff.
defined
like,
chin, but
yeah.
for me, what did it was the arms. It's always the arms that does it for me.
Oh,
They're
Simon.
the first thing. It's the sexy
Simon.
arms.
So
Ah.
what extra does it for me with Henry Cavill is that he's like a total nerd. The man loves him some like Warhammer 40K.
That does not do it for me.
Left the damn Witcher show
He
because
plays
he
the
was.
fucking tabletop versions.
Oh.
So in case anyone's
Yeah.
wondering, that's Douglas.
That's Dougie.
So he's-
That's
Douglas.
Dougie. That's our Dougie. My
Yeah.
Dougie.
Oh, I didn't realize you were.
Oh
That's
yeah,
okay.
no, we're recording, friends.
That's my Dougie.
That's okay.
He surprisingly enough, he's not the big bulky, but he's got the arms, and he is unfortunately for me because the nerdy shit does not turn me.
No, it doesn't for me.
But he is the nerd.
I want to be able to have a nerdy.
No,
I
we're not
wanna-
cutting it out because we're 20 minutes in, and that was a good chunk of it. Honey.
Yeah, that was good.
We'll modulate your voice.
No, dude, we have one mic. We're not modulating shit. I don't know how to do that. That's his job.
I'm sure you gotta do
We're not doing that.
It's okay.
But, like, for me, it was the arm. It's always the arms. That's the
But I
first
want
thing.
them to be both hot and nerdy, but I want them to be able to like turn the nerdy on and off.
I also really like musicians.
Yeah,
Because they know what the hell they're doing with
So,
their hands.
Musicians are hot, but also like
Well, here's the
how do I
thing.
put this?
So, Douglas, guitar, bass, string instruments.
fair.
Great.
So I want them to be
But-
musician as secondary. I don't want them to have to be like their whole personality.
But my first, like, serious, sexy, like, fucking horny boyfriend was played a wind instrument. That was not
Hey,
sexy.
now I played a wind.
So did I, but
If
he
the
wa-
man knew what to do with his mouth.
But he wasn't. It
Your
wasn't
tongue.
sexy. But he knew what to do with his mouth and his hands.
Yes.
See?
That was what did it.
Yes.
Not that he played an instrument,
There's something
but that
to be
he
said.
knew what he was doing.
There's something to be said for sax appeal.
Sax, clarinet, bass saxophone.
Yep. See, I knew where that was going.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay, but still, like, if you went for your hall pass, like, my hall pass would have been, like, Johnny Depp. Like, always been Johnny Depp. Because he has that
Okay,
personality.
but, like-
he has, like, he's silly, he's funny, he's charismatic, everyone loves him, he's
Cavill.
cocky, like,
So
well, Cavill,
it's
okay,
Henry
yeah.
Cavill, Jensen Ackles, Jason Momoa,
Yes.
Chris Evans,
No. Not
Chris Pine.
Chris Pine is the hot Chris.
Chris Pine is the versatile, dynamic, does everything actor Pine.
But
Chris.
What about the Hemsworth?
He's the
Hemsworth?
he
he's
is.
overwhelming best well-rounded Chris.
Hemsworth?
Yes.
Pine. Because he can sing, he can do all of that.
Tyler Hoechlin.
I could have gone to college with Tyler Hoechlin.
I'm so mad that you almost went to college with Tyler Hoechlin.
He and I are about the same age. I almost went to college with Tyler.
I just want Tyler Hoechlin to talk to me.
Yeah, he's
and maybe
Tyler Hoechlin is a good one. My new recent one is like I mentioned from 911, Oliver Stark. He's British and tattooed and has the biceps, and he's got that smile that like it does something for me.
I don't know. He's not really my type, but how about the cute one from the Top Gun 2?
Oh, Glenn Powell. Oh yeah,
Glenn Powell's having a moment.
He's cute.
So rumor has it, according to our tech guy who follows the Top Gun series and the Mission Impossible series, apparently Tom Cruise wants Glenn Powell to take over for him.
Oh,
I could see that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, my favorite Glenn Powell moment was in Twisters.
Who's the one in Reacher? Is that Glenn Powell?
No, that's Alan Richardson.
That one! Him. Yes. I know he's like, okay, but only because he's hot.
He's hot, but he's also uber religious.
Yes, but only because he's hot.
Yes.
Not because, like, I don't know.
No, not Alan Richardson himself.
Who are we talking about?
Alan Richardson, he plays Reacher on Prime. He's Prime's Reacher.
He's in, the
Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
Which also has Henry Cavill in it.
And in between the two of them, I prefer Cavill.
Yes, like
Cavill
for personality and conversation.
And the dog loving.
And because he loves dogs.
And is not Jesus-y. And there's nothing wrong with it.
And Richardson because he's just straight up fucking
Let's just be completely honest and open. We have nothing against anyone and their beliefs. No,
if that is
it's just, personally for me, I grew up going to private religious school and I've unfriended people because of it and
it's okay.
I can't.
Look, I say fuck a lot, so there's that.
Yeah, and I'm all for, women's rights, women's autonomy, and all that stuff. And some of the people who
we're literally drinking and saying fuck a lot. That doesn't generally
vibe
and
I
which if it does it for you, great, wonderful.
And again, I've considered abortion and done all of that. So just to be nothing wrong with that. One of my best friends, she is one of my longest running friends. She's like a rock for me. She was there for me when I was having this whole abortion discussion. She's devoutly Catholic, but she was supportive of me. Yes. So I love her.
Yes.
But again, it's one of those things. It's all on you. We're nothing wrong. If you're religious, great. But for me, if you're that religious, I'm sorry. You can be my friend. I will not fuck you.
You do you. That's not necessarily a turn on for us.
It is a big turn on for me. Yeah. If you're super devout, I'm very impressed. I'm very proud of you. But that does not do it for me.
But I've also never met someone who was like super devout who was also like okay with their spouse. And I'm sure that this is a thing where one spouse is super devout and the other one is not. But that is, I think, the exception to the rule, and you have to be compatible, right?
And again, if you're compatible, great, more power to you. For me, I've had too much experience with the hypocrisy of it, and that's a personal thing.
Yeah. Oh, same. Again.
Yeah.
And so I walked away. I was baptized. I walked away from the church and have never felt better since I walked away.
Yeah.
But that's me. Yeah. But like Cavill, we've talked Cavill, Ackles. Ryan Reynolds, as far as like a comedic.
Okay, Ryan Reynolds is fucking funny.
He's funny, but it's not my kind.
But it's for me, it's more like I want to just like have Ryan Reynolds as a friend, just because he's funny.
I want him to hook me up with his friends.
I want to more be his friend than I want to sleep with Ryan Reynolds. If that sort of.
I want to hang out with him because he seems like he would be a lot of fun.
He seems like he's a lot of fun. He's a cool dude, and he's kind of like the life of the party.
Yes,
and also he's legitimately fucking funny.
He is hot, but I don't want to fuck him.
I like Simon and Bridgerton.
Oh, Renee Jean Page.
Oh, Renee Jean Page. Yes. Yes, he is a snack.
He is a snack. Yeah, he is.
And he has the nice lips. And
yes.
Manly.
We talked about, like, Oliver Stark has almost everything that I would go for in a guy. The only thing that's kind of a turn off is he's vegan.
Oh.
Who, Renee Jean Page?
No, Oliver Stark. The guy I showed you before we started recording. Like, the British guy with the big biceps and all the tattoos and the big thighs, and he's got the dimples in his face.
I
and
still don't know how you get that muscular.
When he smiles and he turns kind of into like the sweet golden retriever kind of look. Like,
how do you get enough protein?
But I can't. Again, more power to him that he's vegan and is able to stick to it, and that's really, I respect that. I would be disowned if I gave up meat.
Yeah, no, I can't do that.
And I love.
I am not willing to give up the things to go. Well, one, I'm not willing to give up meat, but I'm not willing to go from the things you give up to go from vegetarian to vegan.
And
I like cheese.
I
I
like
like
my
butter. I need oils. I
my meat.
I know there's vegan ones, but yeah, I like meat too.
The non-sexual and the sexual. I like my meat.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. I have too many like food intolerances
To be
actually
fair,
To cut out
you
a whole bunch of other stuff.
have your food intolerances that take that
Yeah,
into account.
so
I don't have that,
Yeah.
but I couldn't because I would be disowned. My adrenaline junkie, world traveling dad grew up in Brazil, which means he ate meat. He did speak to my cousin for years when she was a vegetarian. I'm an only kid. It's just me and dad now. I cannot go vegan. I like me a bloody steak.
Oh yeah.
And like I'm obsessed with Oliver Stark right now, but he's vegan.
I don't know, bub. I can't.
He's got, oh my god, his arms are covered. He's got so I found a picture. He's got tattoos on his legs. And
I
again,
don't know how you keep up enough protein.
And like
Eating
from a
vegan.
relationship perspective,
Oh,
that is
no.
legitimately hard.
No, yeah, that
It is legit because I've dated a vegetarian before, and I am someone who basically cannot be vegetarian,
Yes.
right? That is really, really,
But
really
see,
hard.
I feel like the only thing that makes me like feel like not out there, like should I be in a relationship with someone like Oliver Stark? He's not militant about it. He's okay with everybody else eating.
Yes,
And that is
again,
okay.
And again, that's the
And
same thing.
that is something I can handle. If I was in a relationship with someone who's vegan but was okay with me eating meat products,
Yes,
that
but
is
it's
fine.
still like
and
the
that's the
cooking
way.
thing.
And that was
And
the
you
way
have to
that
keep
I.
like pans separate, which is fine. But like
Yeah.
if they're okay with you doing separate eating diet plan, like
Yeah.
But it's still really difficult.
it is difficult. But if they're not going to be militant and horrible about it,
Yeah, no.
then it's fine.
And the guy that I dated that was vegetarian was not militant about it, but it was just really, really hard because you're like perpetually making sort of two meals.
Yes,
Mhm.
which is like sort of kind of what Dougie and I, or we call him Dougie and I do, is that sometimes he cooks vegan stuff.
I
Which is
can
fine.
handle a meal that's vegetarian or vegan, but I don't want it
the
all the time.
reason it works is between the two of us, most of the time we cook our own things because he has to follow a recipe exactly. He doesn't have the creativity with the cooking because he only really started cooking in the last 5 or 6 years.
But that comes with experience.
Yes. Whereas for me, I will stand in front of a stove and cook whatever. Or as some of our friends and some of the girls, as Claire and Laurel know, I get drunk and I bake.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
And for most people, you can't do that because baking is chemistry.
Baking is chemistry and it's very
Yeah.
specific. I'm
But-
not actually that great of a baker. I'm a decent cook. I'm not that great of a
I
baker.
bake and I bake while drunk.
But you also make boozy, like, drinks.
Yes, but what
Boozy
I like to
bakes,
cook,
too.
but
what
my
happens
baking
is-
is okay for normal people, but it's not like I wouldn't bring it to Christina's house.
And what most people don't do is you don't do like I do, where it's like I experiment, so I have alcohol, and it's the chemistry. There's nothing precise about my baking. Like to a degree there is, but to also another degree there isn't.
But you have enough of a grasp with the baking, and you are experienced enough as a baker to understand how to modify the recipes.
And this is a sidebar, but what happens is because my grandmother and my mother never cooked with recipes. My grandmother cooked by texture.
Yes.
And my grandmother, for all those who are curious, my grandmother grew up teaching a lot of, like, I grew up eating my grandmother's food without realizing it because she taught a lot of the chefs and cooks in Chinese restaurants in Southern California.
Yeah.
So it all tasted like grandma's cooking, and I didn't realize that until I was older that grandma had taught them how to cook.
Yes.
Grandma cooks with textures. She doesn't tell you measurements. She tells you add it until they get to this type of consistency. My mother cooked with colors. Get it to this kind of color stage.
Yeah.
You want
that's
your
good.
veggies vibrant. You want your meats this color. And I cooked to what it smells like.
Mhm.
That's how I a lot of times measure where my cooking is. What does it smell like? And because my mother and my grandmother kind of taught me how to cook, but I was always there while they were cooking. I took a lot of that. So I cook with texture, with smell, with what it looks like.
Yes.
Never measuring.
Yeah.
Whereas Douglas has to very precisely do everything. Whereas I'm like,
See, like I would be precise in baking because I feel like you need it.
when you
but-
first start out with baking,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I've been baking since I was a child because
But,
my
like-
mother set everything on fire.
But the cooking, it's more of an art.
It's an
Yeah.
art and there's a bit of instinct that
Cooking-
goes with
and
it.
cooking is
it's
instinct.
It's instinct and art, and it
Yes.
kind of like you just add a little more of this or that, or like you just kind of do it by sight or feel or smell or.
I had an ex-boyfriend who was the epitome of all of my turn-offs, with a couple exceptions. That fucker could cook.
Oh yes, that's a big turn on for me. Actually, as a
And
guy who
he,
can
he
cook.
was in kinesiology, so he had the biceps. But he was a little Asian. He was an Asian guy. Had a tiny dick.
Hey
Yeah.
now.
There's nothing wrong with it.
No.
But, like, all he really had going for him was the cooking, and he wanted to be the knight in shining armor.
Yeah.
And that, again, I think I've said it before. The knight in shining armor never does it for me. I want the battle-worn. I want someone like Geralt, who's weary, world-weary, experience, has dealt with.
But we are also three fiercely independent women.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we all want the guy who has lived life, who is
I don't-
world-weary.
So if
No
like,
one's talking down to me.
if the
No,
guy
fuck that
dictating
shit.
everything for you does it, that's great. It does not do it for the
Well,
three of us.
And it's, I don't mind the guy dictating and being the dominant in the bedroom. That is one thing.
But that's
like,
a
in the
different
bedroom versus in general.
But that's a different dynamic.
But he
right?
wanted to save me, and then and the thing, what was really
But I
kind of
don't
like
think so,
sealed the ending of it, like, was that, and I fought for the relationship because again I was in a little bit of a weird place. I lost my grandfather, and I fell apart.
Yeah.
And he didn't know how to help me, but he wanted to be the knight in shining armor with the little issues. But when you have a big, horrendous issue, he didn't know what to do about it, and that didn't work for me. It was one of those, like, there's, it's just, I don't need the knight in shining armor.
Yeah, I mean, independent guys who can sort of hold their own, but also are capable of giving you your own space.
Give me
Are like the big thing
it's
for me.
the world-weary, lived life experience person.
Yeah, but guys who know when to, or even people,
Look at
right,
me.
in general, who know when to kind of like step in and when to back
Right.
off.
Yeah.
Right? Who have that
So
emotional awareness.
So between like a great example for me, DC heroes, Batman versus Superman.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The actors themselves don't play into this,
Yes.
but between the two heroes, I prefer the Batman because he's experienced life. He has gone through trauma. He has clawed his way back.
Yes.
Where Superman is, well, he's Superman.
He's hot.
Well, but he's the good boy who doesn't
Okay.
have any of this. Like, he's the knight in shining armor.
Okay.
That being said, that's the character. The
Yes.
actors, I don't like any of the Batman actors. I am sorry, none of them are attractive to me. Michael Keaton was a lot of fun, and I loved him as Batman, and Clooney was Clooney, but they were not, like, the actors themselves, great. The character, better. Superman, hated the character, loved Cavill.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yes.
Tyler Hoechlin as Superman, right? So those guys played Superman, but I like the guys, not the character. Big difference.
Yeah.
I don't want the knight in shining armor. I've never been a fan of the knight in shining armor. My favorite Disney movies always involved a morally gray, like Beauty and the Beast, Adam the Beast.
Yes. Yes.
He has
Or-
a name.
Yeah, his
Yes.
name is Adam.
Prince Adam.
He's Prince Adam.
Oh.
Yeah.
He was broken, world weary, you know.
Yeah, but he
She
was also kind of a dick in the
He
beginning,
was,
and then he
but
gets like
that-
redeemed, right?
Yes, but that does it for me, not Prince Charming.
Because that was kind of like the whole plot of
But-
the movie was that he was like this enormous fucking dick.
But not Charming, not Philip, you know. I want, like, or Mulan, General Shang, or
Yeah.
whatever, you know. World weary, experience. They've lived.
Who's the guy from Downton Abbey? Matthew. God, what's his last name? You know who I'm talking
Which one?
about. Laurel.
Wait, we can
Which
look
one?
it up.
Whose partner?
He's played Beast. Oh shit, what was her name? Laura. I've seen Downton Abbey all the way through precisely
Oh yeah, me
once.
too. You know I have.
Season 2. He was the
season
fiance. He's the
2.
one who dies in the car accident because he
Oh,
wants to.
yeah.
Matthew. God, what is his last name? It's
hold on,
escaping
hold on.
me.
Is
'Cause
the character's name Matthew or the actor's name
No,
Matthew?
the actor's name is Matthew.
Dan Stevens, Matthew Crowley.
Dan Stevens, that's it. I
Yeah.
had got them mixed up.
Matthew
Dan
is
Stevens.
his name in the show.
Okay,
Yeah.
Matthew is his name in the show. Dan Stevens. Yeah, he's a snack. But I also have a thing for British guys.
Yes, there is. I again, like I told you, right now my current TV show crush is Oliver Stark. He's a British guy. The only downside for me with him is he's vegan.
Can I say
Single,
like
if you're British, call me.
Dude, if you're Oliver Stark,
And I want you to be like
please
full on
call.
British. I want the accent. I want
How about,
the
like,
whole.
Henry Golding or Godfrey Gow? Or...
Henry Golding.
Oof.
Yeah.
Henry
Yeah.
Golding,
Yeah, he does
like,
it for me.
Henry
Yeah.
Golding does do it for me to a degree.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, he's hot.
Henry
Yeah.
Golding does
And then,
something,
yeah, Henry Golding. Woof.
but there's something slightly off that doesn't do it. Like, he
Yeah.
does it, but not quite. Like, he's almost there.
See, Daniel Day Kim is kind of like, maybe,
Yeah, I could see it.
Yeah.
Not for me, not Daniel Day Kim.
Daniel Day Kim is a little older though.
He's a little older.
He's a little older.
Give me, Jensen, the Evans and Pine, Calvo, Alan Richardson is okay, Oliver Stark, Glenn Powell. There's a guy, I don't know if you guys watched, it wasn't a main character, his name is Liam Hall. He's in a couple of the made for Passion Flakes movies, and he is Australian.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I like a good accent.
And he was
but...
in Arrow. He was in the Arrow TV series. He played Deathstroke's son.
Okay.
And I think his name was Liam Hall.
I can't see his face.
He is, here, let me pull him up. He is a dark-haired, like, cut. He does the
okay.
bow staff.
I'm not saying
Like,
Oh, you're drinking.
He looks like Michael C. Hall from Dexter.
he's...
See,
And
that's
now he just
not
looks
my
like Nick
own.
Jonas.
Look at those biceps, though.
Yeah.
Like, he
okay.
plays a bad guy really well in the Arrow
Yeah, I can
series.
see it.
And, like,
And
there's something about it.
I always liked a little bit of everybody. I'm okay with like whatever, but deep down, like some pretty black hair and like dark eyes. And
He's got like
that's
green blue eyes. Like,
Yeah.
no blue eyes.
No, the blue eyes
thanks.
do it for me.
Not me.
Oh, the blue eyes do it for me, man.
Oh no.
and he's like,
I mean, I'm not gonna not date you because
No,
He-
but
he,
like,
he's
it,
got
but
he can do
it's not my
good
thing.
and bad. Like, there's something about it, and
there's
like,
some- blue eyes do it for me.
dark hair
it's
and
the dark hair
eyes
and the dark and the blue eyes, and like,
Yeah.
there's something like he is in a book. So I believe the book series is the Wicked trilogy. It's a trilogy called Wicked, and it's Jennifer. Let me see. Let me try to. I don't remember. It's Jennifer Armentrout, I believe. And I had the books in my Kindle already, but I hadn't read them until they were on I saw the show.
Okay.
But it's about fairies,
Okay.
the Fae,
Okay.
and like with the two of them, like with them together. Somehow the way they did the movie, it's not very spicy compared to everything else,
Yeah.
but it's a good series. It's called Wicked, and it's by Jennifer Armentrout, and it's a 3. I want to say maybe the first couple of books are like 2 or 3. Like, it's an average 2 or 3, but it's got the story. But he's like the dark hair and it's the fucking arms and the tattoos.
Dude, it's the dark hair and the blue eyes that does it for me.
It's
the
the dark
arms and the
hair and the
tattoos.
dark eyes and
Look, give me the arms and the tattoos. If you've
a
got
good smile and some beautiful dark hair. Oh,
Mhm.
yeah, it helps that we don't all we like the same thing, but not quite. So
like
it
well,
works.
I'm late to the game. I've been reading ACOTAR and we're kind of going through
Yeah.
it. Like, but I'm late to the game, but so are they. Just saying. And so
I-
I'm the first one to start it, and
I've been aware of the books since
Yes.
college.
Oh, yeah.
I just never
Yeah,
got into
I
it.
just
so
never
I'm
got
like-
to them. I'm
I'm
finally
like
like.
I'm like an
doing it.
anti-hipster. If it's like super fucking popular, I'm kind of like.
But I
eh.
had to do it because I had to see if I liked him, and so like there is no spoilers, right? There's Tamlin, and he is
You
classically.
give spoilers. We're just
classic-
warning about spoilers.
Yeah, but he's like
classically
the
beautiful,
classically
But he's
like.
blonde, and he
Yeah.
is like Beauty and the Beast.
No, I do not want the I love
But
Prince
but-
Adam.
Okay,
But
but
But the
not
there's
the
night, but the
classically
night
beautiful.
court, the Bat Boys are beautiful,
Oh,
black-haired, tattooed,
yes,
like
yes.
I-
Rhys
give
is
me
the one
the-
who's like super tall and he has the long dark
Give
hair.
me the guys that are
and the blue eyes.
tattooed with the leather and the motorcycle boots
like-
and
Okay,
the
all
motorcycle.
the
Oh,
night court
man.
guys are like
Night
the bad
court.
boys.
Oh,
Or,
yeah.
if
They're
you
bad,
Laurel K.
they're
Hamilton-
hot,
They're
they're dark-haired,
Yeah.
and they're
If
like,
you Laurel K. Hamilton, not her. I think she does also the Mercy Gentry series or
woof.
Yeah.
series, yeah, Mary Gentry series that is the dark fae and the light fae and stuff, and like that has more of the the bad boys, and it's just like for me, it's the tattooed, muscly, big dick energy.
Yeah.
See, I just
gray.
need that energy. It doesn't have to be particularly that in real
I mean,
life. but
as the person that likes the BDSM stuff, like,
Oh, yeah.
that's not unexpected. That is the biggest thing for me. And, again, I know better than to do the bad boys, so I don't anymore. I know better.
No, but
they're a lot
like,
of
no,
fun.
but there's a difference between what works for you in reality and like your
Yeah.
fantasy.
I've done
hall
the bad
pass.
boys in reality, and
like,
no, I'm never doing that again.
You know what I mean? Like,
I wouldn't say no to going to a BDSM sex club, though. I'm also an exhibitionist, so let's be... I'm very much the exhibitionist. I have fucked people in front of other people and had a lot of fun doing it.
I like reading my porn more than I like
Being
watching
part
it or being part of it. If that sort of makes sense. Not that that's like a turn on or a turn off or anything like that, but like I like to
Look,
read
if
my
you're
smut.
confident, my whole thing is if you are confident enough to get naked in front of people, then fucking do it. Let's do it. Let's have some fun with it.
Yeah, but I'm one of those weird people that has to like sort of have an emotional connection with someone before I'm like, okay, yeah, no, let's bang. Like I don't do casual sex. That's just not who I am as a human.
And there's nothing wrong with that,
And
but
there's-
casual sex is a lot of fun.
And I'm sure it's a lot of fun. It's not for me.
I'm more like in between. I think I should have done more of that before I had a mister, but
I had a lot of casual sex in college.
I had a
and
lot of
fuck
sex,
buddies.
just not casual.
Yeah.
It can be a lot of fun. Like it can you get a lot of duds, but it can be a lot of fucking.
I mean, I've done it, and I've had like some like great casual sex, but just for what it just doesn't. I catch
really-
feelings too easily.
It was casual-ish because casual adjacent because I had the same fuck buddy for years, but we were never
Yeah,
like.
but that's still casual because there's just like
Well,
no,
he also
there's
liked
no
butt
relationship
stuff, so.
there, right? Like there's no expectation. Like for me, like my saying goes like if you're gonna hit this, you gotta wine and dine this, right?
I think at some point we were both considering it, but given where we were in life, it didn't make sense.
Yeah.
So we were okay with
And
it.
that's great. Like if you have a higher sex drive and like casual sex is just kind of your outlet and what does it for you, fantastic, great. Right? But it's not for everyone, and I'm just kind of one of those people where it's just like it just doesn't do it for me, right? And I just know that about myself.
Yeah.
You know? But
I do have to say, like, with the TV shows and, like, what our hall pass is, as much as I love the Discovery of Witches actors and, like, I love the storyline, the guy who plays the main actor,
I can't watch it till I read it.
doesn't do it for me.
yeah, no.
Matthew, I think
He's
his name
fine.
is Matthew Good.
Yeah, he's
British.
fine.
He's got the British and he's got the biceps, but he's a little too lean to do it for me.
I'm not against a little lean.
There's nothing wrong with lean, but he's just a little
Too much?
too lean.
Oh, okay.
You know, he's
almost scrawny.
well, he's tall, really tall. He
Oh,
in the show, the way I
okay,
see him
yeah.
is he's very tall and very lean, and that doesn't quite do it for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like if you're that tall and that lean, it's a bit of a turnoff. Like give me the height, but give me a little bit of bulk. So Oliver Stark again. I keep going back to him.
Which is
because-
probably why Henry Cavill does it for you because he's like huge and all massive.
Yes. Well, Oliver Stark, like he's
Yes.
my current obsession because
Yes.
I've only just recently got into 911 because I was like, I need something that's drama, that's not Grey's Anatomy, that just makes me depressed, and it works because it's got comedy and it's a ensemble kind of thing, and he is 6'2".
Yeah.
But
And,
see, for me, they don't have to be tall because since I'm super short, I can have everybody. I mean, I like a tall guy, but I also like a
I'm
medium
5'6"
guy.
and
Yeah.
love me a high heel, so give me a taller guy.
I don't
I'm 5'1".
necessarily
I
wanna
can
crane-
wear high heels and still do anybody.
I don't want to crane my neck. But
Oh, I'm
but
okay
I
with
like
that
being a
too.
taller
I
guy.
love 3-inch heel or higher, and I'm 5'6", so
Yeah.
I need a bit of a taller guy. Like I love Dougie, but Dougie is, honey, how tall are you?
5'10".
5'10".
5'10". So when I'm in a heel, we're same height,
That's okay.
and there's nothing like it works. But
Oh, like I was one in college where like all the guys that were like 5'4", 5'5" were like hitting on me because they're at least taller than me.
Just a little.
look,
yeah.
I want to be able to climb them like a pole.
Oh, I like that too.
You're more able to climb them like a pole. I don't have a
Yeah.
lot of distance to go.
Oh yeah, like there were some that were
I'm
like
pretty sure my fuck buddy was 6'5".
6'3", 6'5", yeah.
But it's okay. Like, I dated a guy shorter than me, and I was in heels, and he loved how my calves looked, but he was shorter than me. And
Yeah.
It was a little weird.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to say that it wouldn't bother me at all if a guy was shorter than me, but I'm so short. Like,
But
if I was
again,
tall.
if they're short but they have the big dick energy,
Oh, yeah.
that's a different
Oh, yeah.
story.
Oh, I'm
yeah.
telling
But
you,
he
those
was
short
short.
guys normally do.
This guy was
the
short
big
and
dick
did not have the big dick energy, and also did not have the big dick to back up any big
Yeah,
dick
but
energy.
the short
he
guys
might
are
have had.
normally like lean into like Napoleon complex more
Oh,
than like
God,
big
yes.
dick energy, right?
And they're
like,
normally muscly.
There's nothing to back it up.
They normally have, like, the energy and the muscles.
Yeah, no, this
Yeah, but there's usually a complex with the.
he knew how to use his
Middle
fingers
height
in his
guys.
mouth, but there was some other issues, and this was the one that tried to be a white knight and kind of thing, and it was
Was that the
just
saxophone
But they
player?
might wake up.
no. This
They
is
might
my
make
ex.
up for the
This is the
height
ex
with,
who, when we
some
broke
good-
up, told me I was going nowhere in life.
Oh, that one. Okay.
that one, okay.
Yeah, that
And
one.
the reason this is ridiculous is because nothing against teachers. He barely got his teaching credential and was a PE teacher. I was in my master's program for an engineering degree.
And he had the audacity to tell you that you
Yeah.
were going nowhere with your life. Yeah.
Yeah, and I
Whatever.
bought a house a year later.
Yeah, no.
So, anyway. But there was just, it worked until it didn't, right?
Yeah, oh, totally.
And he knew what he was doing, and he was kind of kinky, and then he was not the dominant. Like, he wanted to be dominated, and that doesn't work.
Yeah, but there was like the big dick energy, but there was nothing to back it up.
Because, like, if you're, like, I love a dominant guy in the bedroom, and so that doesn't work when he wants to be dominated, and I like the dominant guy, and it just doesn't work sexually.
No.
So, if you like that, do they have to do it all the time?
No.
Okay, because that would be kind of
It'd be a
pain
little
to have to do
much.
it all the time.
No.
Yeah.
Let's just put it this way. If they are strong enough to pin me down, that's it, more than enough to do it for me.
Fair. That's fair. Yeah, I
And
can see that.
even if they don't do it they're not doing it to do it on purpose. It just happens in the sexy times, and I just get
Oh, yeah.
pinned. That does it for me. Confident enough to pin you down.
Are you picturing Douglas doing this right now? Because I'm just...
No, God, no. Well, I am now, thank you.
I mean, again, it happens.
And Claire's bright red.
I'm broken. You broke my brain, Laurel.
Yeah, there is a downside for them being good friends with my partner because he's in the living room right now listening to us talking
Probably
about our
so, yeah.
sexy
God,
things.
no. Yeah, no.
It's okay. It's fine. Like,
I mean, blessedly, other people's partners is not my particular kink either, so...
and
like,
I've always been fully open about my sex life and what I'm into and what I'm not into.
Yeah.
I have no shame.
yeah.
She's way open.
Yeah.
I grew up. I was
think
always
you
this open.
Scared our IT guy's like cousin last time. Like I think she was scared.
Yeah, she was a little unsure about this because I'm fully like.
Yeah.
We are.
Yeah, but somehow we always get drunk and end up talking about the podcast.
Yeah.
And,
well,
and
sure.
as a rule,
It is more.
it
We are
takes
also super open.
Yes,
so-
our
We
group
are,
of friends is very super open, like, and we're always willing to talk about it. And like, she was a little unsure, but then she got into it with everybody else,
Oh,
and
yeah,
she
totally.
fit in.
Totally.
But like, it takes a minute because like
She hadn't ever met us.
Look, we are a group that we can play Cards Against Humanity with each other, and there's like no
look,
like.
we had a whole discussion about like dildos and smutty romance novels.
It's because we were trying to explain about this.
And then it got to be a point where we had a good hour discussion where all the women in our group for circles, like it was about even split.
yeah, the boys
We're-
had to run off because they
We're
had
sending
too much.
we're sharing and sending
dildo
links
talk.
to dildos.
Oh no, we tried to find the most unhinged
Yes.
monster cock on Amazon we could
And
find.
we
And
were
we are
sharing
not.
it. Like,
this
we're-
time, when we say monster, we're being literal.
We're
being
talking
literal.
like tentacle dildos
Tentacle
and like the
dildos.
horse dildos or the ones that have multiple balls on the dildos.
Yeah.
Like,
All kinds of fun
we
stuff.
don't have any of these,
And
and
we
eventually
totally messed up our Amazon
Oh yeah,
we
it's
will
still
eventually
trying to
build.
feed
We'll
weird
build
sex
up
toys
more
to
of
me.
these dildos and
Yeah.
have a collection. But currently, we only have Confetti Johnson, which.
And he is very cutely vanilla.
Yes.
But we do need.
I mean, he's decent.
We put it
I
out
like
there
him.
before where we need a name for him besides Confetti Johnson. So again, if you
Well,
have ideas,
actually, one of our favorite things is making up names.
Yeah.
yes,
Especially
so,
me.
But like again, these are different things that we're into, and like
I like a good alliteration.
Oh, same.
I wouldn't mind hooking up with a bi guy.
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
We're talking fantasies and turn-ons and stuff.
I thought,
Oh.
yeah.
Okay.
That's an
Non
interesting
sequitur,
segue.
but I've made out with and had a bi guy in my boobs before, but like never fully like did it all the way with a bi guy. Mostly because I've done the multiple partners, and that's where I think it'd be interesting with multiple partners with a bi guy. And
Yeah,
another
but
guy.
like for you, is
with
it...
bi guys and the multiple.
But for
partners.
you, it's the 2 guy thing, right?
Yes,
More
there's
than-
something for me that does it. Like again, I'll keep going back to it because it's the most recent thing. The Oliver Stark, Lou Ferragamo or Ferragimo, whatever the hell I can't pronounce his last name. Junior from 911. The fact that one's bi and one's gay, but they're both very masculine, very manly men, not like a twink or whatever.
Yeah.
As you would call it. Like
See,
there's something about that does it for me.
See, I'm not sure that would do it because
Maybe not in
whole
real life.
fantasy for me would be the fact that all their attention's on me.
Well, yes,
It's
but,
the attention of the 2 people that
but
I would.
there's something to
think
be
find
said for
a turn on.
like these 2 very like dominant like male men.
Yeah, but I don't want them messing with each other. I want them messing with me.
But what if they've made you come enough times that you're tired and you don't want to participate?
Well, then
you
they
just
should
want
lay
to
and
watch.
snuggle me.
I would want to watch. I would see. I'm the type
Give
of
me
I
a
kind of want
massage.
to.
I don't know. Rub my back like.
I would want to watch.
Give me some water. I don't know.
I like reading my porn more than I like watching.
I would
it.
want to watch.
Huh.
But again, like to me, the sexuality matters less than their intentiveness as a partner.
Look, if they've made me come enough times and I'm tired and don't have any energy left, I'd watch, and that might turn me back on, and endless
I
cycle.
just don't know.
But again, I've done the 2 partner thing.
Yeah, fair.
And just side note, I think I've
Sounds
mentioned
like
this
fun,
before.
but-
It sounds like a good
I
time,
don't
but you
know.
got to make sure the cock sizes are the same.
Yes.
Oh God.
Oh no, yes, you talked about
We
this.
have heard this before. I don't think you
Yes.
have heard this, but the 2 of us.
You might have heard this because we've talked about this in an earlier episode, possibly.
Okay, maybe.
You have to have the same dick size if you're doing multiple partners, because if the bigger one goes in you first, then the smaller one it's not gonna be the same. It doesn't work.
What do you be like? Can you like compare? Can we have like a tape measure? We need to make sure you
Even
2
if
are
you like
like.
start doing it, just be the woman that has the presence of mind where like you put the smaller one in first.
Yes.
Just make it work for you.
Yeah, take charge. Just
Yeah,
be like
just
you.
take charge and like
You.
arrange it because
Smaller
it makes
dick,
a difference.
You first.
Or try to get them like around the same size. And it turns out like I dated both of them separately and they're both exes, but when that happened, that was when I realized one was a lot of talk and didn't have a whole lot of action to back, like had enough action to back it up, but not quite. Whereas the other one that didn't talk a lot,
Which I think still gets into like threesomes. Great in theory, not always.
You gotta make it work
Great
because
in
it was a lot
practice.
of fun until the size difference thing hit me,
Yeah.
and then I was like, this is not fun. But up
yeah,
until
but, like,
then,
but it's never it never comes out the way they make it out in books, right?
no.
You know
And
what
again,
I mean?
like we've talked about the multiple dicks thing, there's a bit of puzzling and like physics and geometry that you got to figure out. Where do all the dicks go?
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Draw it out.
Where do we
Draw
go?
it out with
And
stick
if the
people.
guys are all like big guys, like Cavill size guys or Alan Richardson size guys, that's too many. That's too much.
Yeah, but if they're just because they are a big human does not necessarily mean that it is. What's the word I'm looking
Don't
for?
put that many big humans next to each other.
Yeah,
with
no.
it in the same room.
No,
'cause it
but
just-
but it's not always proportional, right?
No.
You know what I mean?
Right. Oh, definitely.
I mean, I've dated some big guys who were just a chub.
teeny. Yeah.
Just a chub, right? You know, like, and that's...
I'm sorry to say, in my experience with Asian guys, the stereotype is true. But that's also, in my experience, I don't do a lot of Asian guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It doesn't do it for me.
Well, now.
But again, it's that is not always...
My experience with Asian
Yes,
guys.
Yeah.
that is
The,
not a
the,
broad...
the 1.5.
Yes.
Because I didn't get near that one.
Yeah, but Asian guys don't do it for you either, Steve.
No.
Like,
No, Asian guys
What?
don't do it for me.
They did for me.
They have never done it for me.
again,
I've tried.
Yeah, again.
My
like,
parents
that's-
wanted me to date an Asian guy because I'm Asian, and they never did it for me.
Yeah, it's not your thing.
Well, too many of the ones I was surrounded by and in my life were mama's boys and like too entitled with it because they were spoiled only sons kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, and they couldn't handle me being self-sufficient,
Mm-hmm.
empowered, like I will cut a bitch kind of
Maybe
situation.
the type of Asian guy that wants to date an Asian girl as opposed to a non-Asian girl is
Yes.
just different.
Yeah.
You know what I
They
mean?
wanted
Yes.
someone that was a little bit less me, and that didn't cut it for me.
But
and,
like,
and
can-
this was before the
like,
tattoos.
can
and
you?
stuff.
Well, this gets into a whole nother level, but like, I couldn't imagine you with Mr. Laurel.
Oh God, no.
You know what I mean? Like that wouldn't work.
Oh God, no. He does not do it for
They're
me.
they're both extroverts. That
You know what I
wouldn't
mean?
work.
I
Like,
might smother
no.
him in his sleep if it was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
totally.
Yeah, he'd drive
Yeah.
you nuts.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
Mr. Laurel, I would smother Mr. Laurel in his sleep if
Oh,
we
yeah.
were a couple.
Yeah.
It does not
No,
work.
he'd drive you nuts.
Yeah.
Right?
Like, I love him as a friend.
That's the thing is, like,
100%.
that's totally different.
100%.
Totally different.
But, like, no. Asian guys have never done it for me. Everything else can do it for me. Wait, no.
No, that's a very broad generalization.
I'm definitely more into the white guys. There's been a few, the Latin guys, and the black guys can do it for me, but I am definitely more partial to the white guys.
See, white guys are okay.
But it's a stereotypical
But
Asian girl thing, too, to be fair.
Super,
To
like,
be into the white guys.
I
But-
super, like, Asian or Native American.
But I also grew up surrounded by white people friends, so
Look,
I
British
was always
guys
into
just
white.
do it for me. British guys just do
Guys
it
with
for
an
me.
I
accent,
just like the
British or
British
Australian,
accent. It doesn't
British
have
or
to be.
Australian guys.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
See, I prefer British to Australian.
But again, my current two big major current like celebrity crushes are Cavill and Oliver Stark, and they're both British.
Yes.
But Liam Hull is Australian, and then Jensen and Evans are American.
Yes.
So like, and they're all white guys.
I mean, I'm not against anybody, but everybody has their preferences.
Yes,
anyway.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Yeah.
And then of course we have our yucks.
Oh, yeah.
Knight in shining armor, Napoleon complex.
Overpowering guy. Well, I'm like the like macho for the sake of macho.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the bros.
Too machismo. type,
Yeah,
like,
or how do I put this? When I say macho for the sake of macho, I mean more like and I've been in a relationship with someone who kind of tried to control a little bit.
Oh yeah, no.
Like, I don't do insecure guys. Just full disclosure.
Oh my gosh,
No,
I
I
remember
don't
that.
like
That reminds me of a conversation I had with my sorority sisters at one point, where when I was like, I love the dominant guy, and they were so concerned because
But not that
they
kind
thought
of
But not
they
that.
thought the dominant guy for them was like an abuser, and I'm like, no.
No.
They're like, will you be safe? I'm like, honey.
Yeah.
But that.
My response was like, honey, do you not know me? Like, you guy tries that with me, I will cut a bitch.
But that doesn't
You know.
necessarily do it for me either. Like, Dom's in the
No.
bedroom doesn't. Like
I love a dog.
I like to read that dynamic. I don't necessarily like to be on the receiving end of that
Would
dynamic.
I'm more like I like the idea of like a bodice ripper where they're like, but that being more for fun. I don't want full on like dominant, but I wouldn't mind being
like
pinned or having my bodice
and that's
ripped
the
open
thing.
or
Like,
something.
I like the doms that are not. It's not the 24/7 doms. It's
Yes.
the in the bedroom only
Yes.
doms. Though
See, I don't want it even in the bedroom all the time, but I
I
wouldn't
want the
mind like
give
a
and
little.
take.
you want the give and take, and like the thing is with
Yeah,
like, a lot
yeah.
of this stuff, it's like the doms don't even have to do it in the bedroom all the time. Right?
Yes.
Where
I
they're
would-
comfortable enough where like if you want to play, you can play, and if you don't, then you do it fine. Like
Yeah,
it's a switchy situation.
My only experience with that has been with like someone was a dom as much in the bedroom as they were elsewhere because of
Oh.
and that doesn't do that
Oh,
doesn't do
no,
it for
no.
me.
No insecure.
that
you know what I
doesn't do it
mean?
for
And
me.
it was very much like there was a lot of I couldn't do things on my own, and I'm like I said a very fiercely independent human.
Well,
No,
and
I'm
the-
not
I
gonna
was
be
never
told what
like
to do.
I'm
unless
gonna
I
go
wanna
to
be
this
told what to
party and
do.
meet other people to have sex with, and like my partner at the time was very much like I don't want you to go alone because I'm afraid you're going to have sex with
Well,
other
no,
people.
no,
I'm
and
like,
that's the thing.
Listen,
That's
asshole.
not
insecure.
No,
in the
no.
true sense of a dom. That's not it.
That's fair. That's
and like
fair.
like again, that's the thing. It's like it's a very there's a range, right? And I do
Yes.
not want the the
I like
24/7 dom doesn't do it for
super
me.
secure. Like, yeah, I love them all looking at you because you're mine and you're hot. Like, I get that. That
Secure
turns me
enough
on.
that if you get hit on, they don't care.
Yeah, but there's a
That
certain
turns me
amount of
on.
like you're mine and you're hot and
You can handle yourself.
Yes, you can handle
but
yourself.
they are
But there has to be trust.
they're very much into you, right? They're
Yeah.
very much into you to the point where
Yeah.
it's like it gets heated enough that I'm gonna hold you down, right? Because I'm so into this.
Okay.
Not because
No,
they
yeah.
want to dominate
No,
you.
it's
as a
because it's
person.
like
Yeah,
sexy
I don't
time.
like that.
Yeah.
I don't
No,
want
no,
to. Yeah.
We're that's all on the same page. Like it's because of it's the sexy time dom. It's not the
Yes.
24/7 have to
Yes.
control. No, that's abuse.
I want someone who takes charge to some extent, but I want there to be a give and
I
take.
don't want a
there, right?
chauvinist.
No,
Yes.
no. But again, we are all very
God.
fiercely independent.
Yeah. You don't have to take care of me. I mean, we take care of each other because we're partners. You don't have to. I don't need you.
Look, the
You don't need
sexiest
me,
thing
but
that
it's
a
good.
guy
We're good
can
together.
do if I'm getting hit on, they don't turn all aggressive and butch because they know I can, or not butch, but like dominant and alpha, because I can take care of it. But if I give an indication like come help me, they'll come and do it. Like
yes,
again, Dougie did this once. I was getting hit on. He just laughed because he knew I could handle it. And he was like, I'm not doing shit about it.
Yeah.
And he's just laughing because I'm like, come help me. I don't want to hurt this guy because I have to deal with him again.
Yeah.
And he's just like, fuck that. You can do it.
Yeah.
Kind of situation. Like that does it for me. But again, I love the bad boys. I love the tattoos. And it is dangerous sometimes. The bad boys. Not the tattoos.
No. Oh, 100%.
The bad boys.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
But it's okay. I'm the one with the tattoos in the relationships. Even though I really, really want him to get a tattoo. Especially like an arm piece.
But, yeah.
Something about arm tattoos, too.
It's not for everyone.
I just want to lick them.
The arm tattoos?
If they've got the arms with the definition and they've got the tattoos.
And the tattoos,
yeah.
You just
I want to lick them.
Yeah, okay.
That has never crossed my mind.
No.
But again,
we're talking. I mean, I like a nice arm. But
these are our turn-ons.
Yes,
this is
I
my
know.
thing. It's arms with really, really good tattoos.
Yeah.
Like if you give Henry Cavill tattoos on his arms, I guarantee you I would be all over that licking that shit.
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily lick them, but that's also
I would.
Yes.
For me, I would totally do it. Like, again, that's why the whole Oliver Stark situation.
Have I ever considered licking anything other than the obvious? No.
Yes.
But
no.
I'm sure I could, but no, other than the obvious.
Yeah, other than the obvious,
If they've got like a 8-pack,
well, okay, yeah.
You'd lick
on the way down.
Yeah.
But it's just more like on the way down.
Yeah, on the way down to the obvious.
The hip crease, whatever the hell
Oh.
that's
Yeah, that's
called.
fun to nibble on.
The V
thing.
Yeah, that's fun to nibble on.
Woof.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, again, we have the similar things, but also they're very different. Like, turn-offs are vegan. Oh, weak men.
Yeah.
No dropping you on your head.
No, yes, exactly.
Well, even
I want him to work out at least as much as I do.
Just don't drop me on my head.
Yeah. Like, I want you to
no
be...
mama's
okay,
boys.
So I want you... No. God, no.
No.
I want you to be strong enough that if we're gonna have shower sex, you can hold me up.
Or if we're the same
showers.
height, at least don't let me slip.
Yeah, don't let me slip and fall.
Exactly. Right? Like, if that's your thing, is holding up your girl when you're, like, banging her, at least be strong enough to hold her up.
Oh my god, that made me think of I don't know if I can find it again, but it was on Instagram, and it was like, it was a whole thing where the football players were, if you're not like big enough to pick up your girlfriend, and so they like, you could hire a football player to like pick up your girlfriend and do like over the shoulder, up against the wall, like, kind of thing. And I was like, okay, I kind of get it.
Was that like a Kelsey Swift thing?
Well, I don't think it was a Kelsey Swift, but I remember it because Travis Kelce is in it. It's like a ad parody kind of thing,
but I think I saw
it. Where it's a football player, where you would hire a football player because you're not
pick up your girlfriend,
because you're not strong enough to pick up the girlfriend to do that kind of thing, and so you pick her up for him and like bend him like.
Okay, but that seems a little weird that you're paying someone to pick up your girlfriend.
It is, but there is something about a guy who can do that.
Yes. Maybe not Jason Kelce, he doesn't do it for me, but
Henry Cavill.
Travis Kelce, whichever one of the
Travis. Between the two boys, Travis is definitely the more attractive to me.
I don't know. Jason Kelce's beard kind of does it.
No beards. No beards for me.
I don't mind.
No, they're not. No, I say that as
that's the other thing.
I don't mind a little bit.
I say that as a fantasy more than in reality.
Yes,
beards in reality suck.
Yeah. Well, here's what's weird. I didn't realize that was a thing for me with facial hair until I thought about all of like my exes and stuff, and Dougie.
Maybe a little stubble.
All the facial hair.
Okay, but there's something about Henry Cavill with kind of like the little bit of
facial hair.
I draw the line.
Evans's facial. I love a bearded, not the current bearded Chris Evans with the long hair, but like the nomad Captain America version in Avengers, bearded bearded Chris
kind of like
Evans.
the borderline
the closely shaved, groomed,
a little
but bearded.
Yeah.
I did not.
Some guys.
I did this is when I realized I liked facial hair. My nail tech actually was like, "You really like guys with facial hair?" I'm like, "No," and then I thought about it. I'm no, I've had exes with facial hair. They all have facial hair. There's something about the
Like, it doesn't do it for me in reality, but like in my
It does it
fantasy
for me.
world,
Like
yeah.
I said, I like
Facial
manly
hair does it
men.
for
So
me.
like, as I've looked at a lot of these book talk things as we've been doing this, like, man, some of those guys with those nice deep voices, that's just
The deep voices, the
that
facial hair, or the
velvety-
stubble.
Maybe
like
a little
the 5
stubble
o'clock
or clean
shadow.
shaven. I'm not a no
I
facial hair.
Like I
Facial
said-
hair does it for me.
No facial hair.
It was never something I was like cognizant of until like in the last few years where like my nail tech was like, yeah,
And
you
you
know
know,
what, guys with
over
facial
the
hair. I'm
years-
like, oh.
You know, back to the whole like I don't know. Given that I kind of like Native and Asian men a lot, like.
yeah.
I'm kind of used to no body hair now.
Yes.
Like men with a lot of body hair is kind of weird.
I don't
to me
like
now.
hairy dudes.
Yeah,
I don't
like,
like hairy dudes.
You don't want a
I don't mind a
Sasquatch.
little bit of hair.
It's a little Sasquatchy.
I don't mind a little
No,
bit of hair.
I don't like.
I'm pretty used to like little hairless cat type
yeah,
guys
hairy
now.
dudes don't do it for me.
I don't mind a little bit of hair. A little bit, not a lot. There's not like a full bush coming out of your
I
shirt.
am hairier than a lot of the dudes I've dated.
But like just a,
Yes.
just a little bit. It's there's something a little bit manly. Not a lot, just a sprinkling.
I mean, yeah, there've been some guys that had some like a little teeny bit of chest hair, and
A little
that
bit
can be
of, like,
very manly.
chest
Like,
hair,
yeah,
maybe
just a little.
the
The happy
arrow-
trail.
Happy trail.
The happy trail to the.
But
the
I'm
clock.
okay with like the clean,
No.
naturally thing because I'm kind of used to that now.
Yeah.
No,
same.
give me
Yeah.
a little bit of hair.
I mean, now that I think about it, all the people I've
Yeah.
ever dated have been, or like, you know, seen with their.
I mean,
clothing
I've
on.
always ended up with a guy with facial hair, so
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun when they go down on you.
No.
If they know what they're doing and they know how to use it,
But I
it's
don't
great.
need that on my face or my
It's
pussy.
scratchy.
Yeah, no
It's
scratchy down
No,
there.
if they're well groomed.
No, it's scratchy.
I don't know. I don't need any like 5 o'clock
Have you
shadow
seen
burns.
Jensen
done.
Ackles with his beard when he's
Okay, but
bearded?
it's like,
No.
yeah, but it's like
No.
the very well trimmed. But I, again, in reality, don't necessarily like in fantasy. Yes, that's a turn on, but in reality, no, because it's scratchy.
to be
and it's not fun
surprisingly,
to make out with, and like
surprisingly enough, all of my celebrity guys
so much beard hair. in
have the shadow.
yeah.
But for the most part, they don't have facial hair. The only one exception is like the Chris Evans with his beard, like his clean shaven close beard.
Yeah.
That does it for me. But in reality, I end up with guys with facial hair all the time.
Yeah.
No, I don't have.
Facial hair. I didn't realize it was my thing until
Yeah.
they're
Again,
like, you like guys with facial hair and you like white boys. I'm like, that I knew.
we knew you liked
It's
white
the
boys.
body hair.
It's a white boy. Come on, you can't help it.
I know. Like we needed to stay warm in Europe a long time ago.
That's what dogs are for.
Yeah.
My man doesn't need to have hair. I have a dog.
That's what blankets are for.
And dogs.
Yeah.
You can be hairless and still be. I mean, in general, men generate more body heat, in my experience.
Yeah. And there's a certain thing to be said for snuggling, you know. You get toasty when you're snuggling.
Dougie doesn't snuggle.
Yeah.
Well, he does, but then he sleeps on his belly.
Oh, yeah,
So it
that's
makes
not
it
very
hard.
conducive of snuggling.
And
Nope,
we have a
still no
dog
facial hair for me.
that acts like a toddler.
I tried.
Yeah, that's fair.
No.
Nah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they're different turn-ons. And a guy who can hold his liquor.
Okay,
Yeah.
because they have to be able to keep
They
up
just
with
have to
you.
be a happy drunk.
You're weirdly
They just have to
superhuman
be
liver person over there.
Happy. They just have to be like happy, sexy, fun drunk. They can't be mean drunks.
No.
And by like hold their liquor, it means like they don't just like constantly go out and get like drunk
No,
and
they
like
need
randomly
to
make
be
out
able
with
to
people at
handle
parties.
it.
Exactly.
Because I've had a guy who got bleh while drunk and I might have punched him in the face.
Yeah, I don't want someone that's too wimpy. I mean, I don't want an alcoholic, but I don't want someone that's too
I want
wimpy.
a guy who knows what their tolerance is and
Yes.
stays right underneath that level.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
that leads to me where it's
But I mean,
like,
that's anyone.
I need a guy who's okay
Guy
with
or
the fact
girl, like.
that I grew up boxing and doing Muay Thai and like that stuff and is okay with it and is comfortable.
As long as you don't punch them, I'm sure they are.
Well, don't fuck with me, I won't punch you. Like,
Fair.
but you know, like I need a guy who's confident in himself and who's comfortable with me being a violent soul.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, I am.
Which is again, I think why you like the bad boys.
Oh God, I love a bad
You know,
fuck. It's
because
so
they're okay with
bad.
you being the violent soul because they are also in this deep down.
And it's so bad. Like I
violent
know I
souls.
should not. No, I know better. I know better.
Oh, but they're so fun.
but they're so
it's,
fun.
It's fun to fantasize for me about the bad boy.
I've
reality-
done it, and when it's fun, but God damn, it's fucked up.
In reality, not so much.
See, I just don't
No.
need that fucked up. Nope. Don't
No.
need it. I mean, it would be fun, but then you'd catch feelings, and then that's no good. You
Yeah,
don't
but
need
then
any
it
of
turns
that.
into you trying to fix him, right?
No,
And then it
no
becomes a
fixing
project,
people.
and
No,
like,
no fixer
No,
uppers.
Then
I don't
that-
know
That
fixer
doesn't,
uppers.
that doesn't work.
But yeah, for me, it's I know
Not that one
it's
can't
always-
improve, but that has to be from them.
It has
People
to be
are
their,
what they
like,
are.
the reformed bad boy is even better.
Well,
than
that's
the
a
bad
good
boy.
trope in a book.
Yeah, the
I like
reformed.
that.
I won't say no to a reformed bad boy. I think I will
it's
still always go for
I
the
think it's
reformed bad boy.
The
but
first season of Bridgerton, and Violet, the mother, says, I think, or something to the effect of, it was always my opinion that a reform rake made the best husband.
yes,
Yes.
the reformed bad boy. Well, there's
Yes.
a couple of books. Okay,
There's reformed, but then there's also they know what they're doing
one of
in
the
bed, like
books
we talked about.
I feel like this
How do
will
you know? Because you've done it.
This one book that I will probably bring up again at Happy Hour is another one that stuck with me. It is by Lisa Kleypas? I can't remember. I can't pronounce her last name. It is a Devil in Winter, and it's a very like reformed bad boy, like with Wallflower. It's a Regency novel that you'll enjoy,
Ooh.
Laurel.
Yeah.
But I loved it because it's a reformed rake and reformed bad boy situation, and
That's always good.
always without like bad boy does it for me, but a reformed bad boy is a guarantee in my world.
I think that's how they get a lot of those, like, in a lot of the Regency books, it's the reform rake, or he is...
As a
but
rake
they-
until
but
he meets the right woman
the
and he
right
changes
woman,
on his own.
or he falls for his best friend's sister.
and has to reform.
And has to reform because he has to take care of her and loves her,
Yeah.
and she's wonderful.
But like the reform, there's the bad boy that does it for me always. But the reformed bad boy is the best thing ever.
That's as close as it gets for me. I don't want
Yeah.
the real bad.
No.
I've
I
done
want
the real bad. It's
Reform
not great.
sounds okay, but not the actual bad.
The reformed bad boy is the unicorn in my world.
Yeah.
For me, the reformed bad boy is the unicorn. But the bad boy just does it, and that's easy to find, and it's so bad, like so bad. Again, if you love a bad boy, I feel you, but please don't. It's so bad. It goes bad quick.
Yeah. It depends on the bad boy.
If they become a
And
reformed
how
bad
reformed
boy.
and how reformed
They
they
just
are.
Do it for fun and be safe, and then don't expect to take that home to mom.
Yeah.
No, yeah, don't
No.
take that home for mama.
Well, friends.
Okay.
I think that's
Yeah.
That feels-
now you know what we're
yeah.
all into. And
Yeah.
Way too
what
much.
are you into?
Way
What
too
is
much.
your turn
That feels
on?
like
What
a good
is your
place
turn
to
off?
stop.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you into?
What are you into? What do you look for? What's your hall pass? And
Who's your hall pass?
who's your hall
Who
pass?
are you most
And-
like? Are you like any of us, or totally different?
And maybe it's a little hard to figure out. We'll try to. Maybe you know what we'll do. One of these days, we'll get together and we'll put on our website what our likes and dislikes are and what our hall passes are, just so you can
Oh,
tell us
God.
who we're like,
Oh
who
gosh.
you're like, right? And we'll make that work.
That'd be fun.
That'd be a lot of fun.
Almost
and
like a quiz or like a.
I'm not gonna make a quiz. That's too much effort.
No, it's a lot of work.
Just tell us your hall pass or hall passes.
And what your yum is.
Yes.
Proclivities.
Yums and yucks. Give us an idea, cause
Yeah. We want to know.
and maybe we'll find a book that fits with it, or we'll talk about
Oh,
it.
yeah.
If you give us enough yums that are all the same, maybe we'll talk about
Yeah.
why there are yums or not. So, I think that's good for tonight.
Yeah.
Or today, or whatever the fuck it is. I don't know anymore. We've had a lot to drink. We're still drinking Irish coffees, or
Woo.
whatever the variation is.
Yep.
All
Still
right.
are currently Cafe Amaro, Wild Turkey. I think we talked about it. I don't remember.
Maybe. Okay.
Yeah.
We're doing a couple of recordings in a day,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we've lost track. Like, listen, subscribe on wherever you do all of those things.
Yep.
And find us on social. Romance OT Rocks. That is our handle on all social media. That is our webpage. I think that's everything. Our Patreon, if you want us to drink better, more, other,
Different.
maybe try to up the production value a little bit. We're doing this all on our own with Dougie helping out occasionally.
If you want us to review your book.
Yes.
Whoa.
Our Patreon.
Send us some advance copies.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
not literally your book,
No,
but also
no.
like your
If you're an
favorite book.
author and you want us to talk about your book,
Yes.
we are totally all for that.
Here for it.
Especially if you do smutty romance novels. I think there is one that does it who I love on Instagram, Book Goblin.
Oh, I love her.
I love her.
We all love you, Book Goblin.
Oh my gosh.
So if
Yeah.
you want to send us stuff to review, Granted, I have no idea what you write, but it looks like high fantasy-ish stuff.
But it's also romance.
Yes,
Yeah.
but I also love you because you're Book Goblin.
I know, we love Book Goblin.
We love Book Goblin.
We love you.
So again, like, listen, subscribe wherever you do all of those things, and find us on social media. We love you.
We love you.
Bye.